Man shot in trouble. Somebody come rescue us, man. Huh. Monstrat was sailing in full speed under the leadership of Proven Mead. Then they turned the ship over to a captain named Romeo. Then all of a sudden the ship started going down. So they brought a new captain hailing from long ground. Some people start swimming, some even start drowning. Monstrat in trouble. Who will rescue my people? United, 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 united alliance. United, united, united alliance. United, united. Monstrat is in distress. We need you to clean up this mess. United, 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 united alliance. United, united, united alliance. United, united. With your strong leadership, we know you can steer this ship. You have the capacity to turn this country around. With your competent crew, we will rebound. It's not too late. In your team, we put our faith. United Alliance, come rescue your people. United, united. We need a captain on board. Yeah, man. Our country is now at the brink. If we don't change course, we bound to sink. So we need a competent crew to turn this ship around. So now is not the time to procrastinate. Get on board the ship before it's too late. Monstrations come, non-nationals come. Let us unite as one to build back this nation. United, 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 united alliance. United, united, united alliance. United, united. Montserrat is in distress. We need you to clean up this mess. United, 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 united alliance. United, united, united alliance. United, united. With your strong leadership, we know you can steer this ship. You have the capacity to turn this country around. With your competent crew, we will rebound. It's not too late. In your team, we put our faith. United Alliance, come rescue your people. United, united. With United Alliance, you can help rescue this country. Come on, come on. Join with the team under the leadership of Ruben Timid. We are ready to rescue Montserrat. Hope is on the horizon.
Good morning, radio listeners, and welcome to another edition of this program, Let's Talk with the United Alliance. For those persons overseas listening via the internet, welcome also. And this morning we have a fully packed, fun-loaded program for you. As usual, we'll be talking about our vision and our future for this country. Yeah, it would be nice to get into a little entertainment like we have been seeing on the political platform. I mean, it seems to be more about humor than discussing the serious issues of Montserrat. But this morning, before I start, I just want to reflect on a picture that was sent to me a couple of days ago. And when I saw the picture, my initial reaction is, why you send me another picture of the MK poster? Then the person said, Austin, go and look at the picture properly. You just react without looking properly. So now when I looked back, I saw a group of people all attired in yellow. It sort of got a strange sensation to me because, sometimes in this season, people always seem to be looking for something to talk about perception, how it affects people.
Yeah.
And then the person said to me, you know what? That is the imported players for the MCAP. The CPL and H team have regular, the local players. And then you have the imported players. So the person said, those are the imported players of the MCAP team. I said, guys, come on. He said, yeah, they're substituting. In basketball, when the first 5 goes out and they're tired, then the substitutes come in and they play. So I say, you guys are not easy. You're calling this the substitute team. But the fact is this, and why I smile at it, is that we have persons who are trolling our public servants online. Everything they write online, somebody's going to screenshot it and send it to the governor's office for whatever the case is. So people are being trolled for what they do, how they live their lives. Look, they're all Montreal based on the Constitution. You're entitled to associate with who you want to associate with. And I think you have freedom of expression. But here, on the other hand, there's this photo, which clearly I don't intend to what I'm not suggesting intent. But perception now is that when we get into these folly things, everything's become a perception. So they wanted me to congratulate the MCAP team for the imported players that they had on their team.
Which I think we'll need.
You guys leave me alone. But as I'm saying before, when you're trolling our people and you're quick to call me to explain these things, you have also need to be careful how you portray yourself. Because my question to the post is, I wonder if the post office staff decided to dress in all red, wear t-shirts on Friday morning, if they will be called in and asked to explain why they're dressed in red. It's all about perception. That's all I'm saying. So don't troll my people on Facebook for everything they write and drag them in. You also have to learn to troll yourselves and make sure that your words, your actions are not perceived as being slanted in one direction.
Although it might be a worthy cause that you'd want to advance, we still have to be mindful of such things.
I agree with that, Ms. Dawson. All I'm saying that the same way we expect to hold our people accountable. We expect to hold everybody to the same rules and same standards. And on that, I say no more.
Yeah, but that's what we were talking about our workshop, good governance. We were speaking about the good governance rules during our workshop that we put on, and that is preparing our people for the new government that's going to come in. We promised them that we are going to be having visionary, competent and people who care. And so that is why you see that we started that. But Austin, did you see Miss Margie?
Oh, she
First day?
She looked like but I thought it was the minister in waiting.
You have to act the part. That's the plan.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We had a wonderful time, and each person participated, again showing the skill set among us. And many persons are asking for a repeat. They do not want it during the work day. They would like some weekend. So consideration is been given, but it's a very busy time. But we promise you that we would continue to work with our people. And never mind, of course, I love to dress. And
well, I want to come to you on that, because I so happen to have heard the deputy premier. I mean, if people want to act like, if it's about entertainment, tell the people you're coming to entertain. I mean, I remember those days when we used to go out and get entertainment at political platforms. But what bothered me that John drink off all the water out of the if he want. And the minister said, John, what drink off? John, explain to the public, please, why you take the minister water? I know you don't support the minister.
Hey. Austin, sorry, you have me laughing at that one here. But in all honesty, when people hear the truth about these things, they're really just promoting me. Because if you're going to say on your platform that you give me free water, by the time I finish explaining to you how the water get out there in the first place, you're going to want to know, well, what kind of lies the minister telling. I'll explain to you what happened. And this is not even political, because this is a long time before I even thought about going into politics.
You drink the water, though?
No, they're talking about something that happened 4 years ago.
So what you drink the water a long time?
No, but let me explain, though. I started a farm in Corkill. Me and Hero, God bless his soul. When we got out there, we thought that we were kind of butchering plants that we were going to grow in the farm before we actually settled on sweet potatoes. But there was no water in Corkill. When I asked why there was no water in Corkill, they told me that the main line, the big main line through Bellum, got undermined because the river was coming down and it broke and it capped it off. So I went to Water Authority and asked them, well, how do I get water back in Corkill? The guys told me, John, it's going to be a very big bill to get water back out there. Now, you had other farmers that wanted water also, and the sand miners that wanted water also. So when they gave me the bill, I think the bill was somewhere over $40-something thousand. So I went to the minister and I told him, well, look, I'm in Corkill. There are other people who want water, including the sand miners and farmers that are out there. How can you help me? Because here's the bill of over 40,000. I don't want to pay it by myself. He said to me, give him some days and he'll get back to me. He came back to me and told me he found about $17,000 or $18,000 in the ministry, but he can't give me all because he had some other stuff that he wanted to do with it.
Fair enough.
So I said to him, okay, no problem. Pay what you can to Water Authority and I will sort the rest. Now, what I did, I went to the sand miners. Some of them I'm very close with, like William Wall, I consider my brother. So I called him first. And I told him what I was doing and the plan and asked him if he needed water for his operations. He told me yes. He then told me to call Nigel and tell Nigel that he was on board also. I called Nigel. Nigel told me yes. Once William is on board, he's on board and I should call Javain. So I called Javain. And Javain, being my schoolmate, just answered me and said, John, anything that you're a part of, I'm going to be a part of. Water Authority came back to me and told me that I had about $30-something thousand left to pay. So between me and the other 3 sand miners, got that $30,000 sorted. So government had a very small part of the bill. So who really put water in Corkill? Because the government can't say it's there if they don't even pay half of it.
Private sector water.
Right, it was a private sector initiative. I'm not even going to take all the credit for myself, which is why I called those
Let me
names.
commend you for taking the lead and doing what the minister should have done in the first place. And then to take it on the political platform, John, let me cut you the link. I don't want you to prolong that discussion.
No, I'm not.
Because you sort of explain what took place.
Right, but if you realize it's the wrong minister talking about it, he need to keep out of people's ministry. And if you realize you would never hear that agriculture minister talk about me in a negative way because my connection to the ministry was so close that I could talk about a lot of things.
Yeah, John. So as I said before, I just had to be, a lot of clownishness took place there. And then Miss K and he dressed up go work. I didn't know you were dressing up to going to work offended people.
Well, I can't help myself if I have wonderful family members and my mother who left me all the wonderful things so I could represent my country and the people well. All right? But I'm doing my work.
Yeah, but I'm saying 1960 campaign, people go on the platform will talk about how your shoes you wear, how you look going to work.
No,
this is 2024. And then Dwayne, my good friend. We all thought that this decision to go down there and try to build a golf course, people would have been celebrating you. But now the man talk about you. Come on.
Well, this is who I am, really. I won't even bother to really comment on what, because I was there, what Cupid and the minister himself knows better because he's the one who keeps reminding me that nomination day isn't like the 24th. Nomination day is still a ways away. And so I still have time to come out of United Alliance and come to him. So it's. I know that I am actually an asset for them, but one of the things I always say is that I never regret doing good, and Cupid knows that. So he should be one of the last persons to speak.
Dwayne, I know it's a silly season, and people, you see the clownishness that took place, and so. And as I said before, we, as a sitting government, your job is to explain to people the good things that you have done, if you did any, and the good things that you continue to do as a good government. That is your role.
Just a minute. Like ensuring when I'm in the ministry that the workers work in good conditions. and asking for a report to be done so that the workers at the airport can be properly housed and not be living in rat-infested areas
But-
and full of machine. Is that not work?
But that's what I'm saying. There's so many things to talk about.
Boston, no, you're talking about workers, you and Miss Dorset. Somebody asked me who the Minister of Public Works is, and he's a public works worker. They asked me that. No, seriously, somebody they asked me.
Anyway, colleagues, we have important things to talk about.
Yes, so
Yes,
we'll
let's focus. Let's focus.
continue. I know John
Yes.
wants to help. You can't be a minister if you can't represent people who don't talk to people. That's what you try to say.
I
Smiley.
said let's
No, but it's a
focus.
serious story.
Yeah, if you can't represent people who don't
We'll
talk to
have it
people.
soon.
But that's what them guys. So once again, let us stay focused. Your job this morning is to
Share.
your job this morning is to talk a bit more
Yeah.
about our plans and programs. But before we do that, I have a little piece of music I want to introduce again this morning, and then we get directly into our program.
Talking about red up and fed up. I mean mash up. Oh, now happen again. Huh. Got to go, man. Got to go. Them red up. Talking about them fed up. And mash up our country. Shame. They have no shame. So they don't want to take no blame. So we choosing alliance to get rid of the nuisance, to bring back stability to our economy. And Cap, you drop the ball. Ruben answered the call to fulfill the people's dream. He's coming with a team. So the voters then must say, alliance all the way. Tell PDM, got to go. And Cap, got to go. Weak leadership, got to go. And the voters are say so. High air passage, got to electrical outage, got to high gas prices, got to say. And the voters are say so. Take back our country, take back our country. Tell MCAP and PDM, all this hardship must come to an end. High cost of living, got our youngsters migrating, got our healthcare failing, got to go. And the voters are say so. Tell them what we say. Oh, they got to go. Tired of the nonsense. Huh. Almost 10 years, you have us in tears. And all you do is watch us suffer. Failed promises and high taxes. Life keep getting harder. So the voters rising up, they want this nonsense stop. So they're choosing leadership to take over this ship. And Cap, you drop the ball. Ruben answered the call to fulfill the people's dream. He's coming with a team. So the voters they must say, alliance all the way. Tell PDM, got to go. MCAP, got to go. Weak leadership, got to go. And the voters are say so. Lack of teachers, got no job for school leavers. Got a cricket field for we players. Got to know. And the voters are say so. We gon' take back our country. We gon' take back our country. Tell MCAP and PDM, all this hardship must come to an end. Poor access, got to our health crisis. Got to food importation. Got to tell them. And the voters are say so. Got to go on. They got to go. Yes. And the voters they must say so. Huh. Got to go. Got to go. Got to go.
Yep, that's another one of our releases. Got to go. Got to make room for the new alliance to take over. This morning, before we start, let me share some numbers with you. There's database numbers 491-7227, 491-9064, and WhatsApp us at 496-2885 with any questions you have. I would hope that we could get through maybe the first half an hour before we get into the questions, because this morning I want the candidates to do some presentations, and hopefully we won't have to interrupt them if the questions come in maybe a little bit later in the morning. Mr. Scarrett, Genzil Scarrett, how are you doing, sir?
Morning, Austin, and morning, the listening public out there, those on island, and of course, those listening in the diaspora.
One of the things that people keep asking me, and I say, let you do it for yourself, is to tell them, why should the people of Montserrat vote for Genzil Scarrett?
Well, Austin, that's the question that I've been getting as we go to house, even on the phones, and interacting in persons in the community and the business places. And basically, Genzil Scarrett is a person that listens to everyone in the community. Persons out there have been trying to get their opinions across to the leadership of the country and business people in the country, and they've been having their difficulties. I myself have taken these concerns and responses and put them in emails and sent them to the leadership of the country. And at the time, realizing that I was not getting some support or responses even from them on certain matters, I decided, look, we have to push a little bit harder here. Probably it is not what you're doing, probably it's how you're doing it. I've always been a solution-oriented person. I see a problem, and I don't just look at the problem. I try to always find creative ways to solve those problems. So, for example, as I've been in Montserrat now, returning from the U.S. in 2007, there was an issue where we noticed that there was, no youth basketball being played. And for lack of resources or lack of opportunities, we decided, look, let's start the mini basketball program. What was the mini basketball program? It was a camp for young children, both boys and girls, in 3 villages. We had one in Salem, one in Braids, and one in Lookout. And we met on the weekends. And what we did, give them the basketball skills that they needed so that they could advance and start local competitions. So we had little exhibitions. I want to say thanks to those parents who gave me that strength, that support to send their youngsters to me over the years. And now, several years later, you will see the best players on island, or the pinnacle of the sport, are some of these young men. Right now, the Wendell Allen is one of the players that I would have coached. I say good morning to his mother, Sharon Allen, from the community of Cudgerhead and Baker Hill, who would always send her son down to the basketball program, and several other parents, not just singling her out, but Wendell especially, because Wendell was a leader from a very young age, and that is what a coach does. Sometimes I think Montserrat needs a coach in leadership, because you need to see talent, give them the support, those persons that have that talent to support, and give them the avenues and the guidance. Sometimes, Mr. Howe, we don't have the financial backing, but it is the connections we have and the networking that makes things happen. So, the basketball developments over the years, that's one area that I think that I've contributed to, and I've shown my ability to solve problems and to work with parents in difficult issues. Something that I observe right now, that my godchildren and some other children have spoken to me about, is the fact that currently, Mr. Howe and team, we are lacking some teachers at the secondary school. And to start solving some of those issues going forward, I'm not just going to wait until this team gets into office or have been elected. I've already started speaking to some of the retired teachers on island and engaging to see if they would be willing to come back out and support the secondary school program, because the secondary school where those children are being taught is the area that gives them the skills that they will be living not only in Montserrat but in the region and further in the overseas. So we have to give those children the proper educational foundation so that they will continue their learning, and of course after that be able to gain access into university. So if you're hearing me this morning and you're interested in supporting the MSS, I'm telling you, push yourself forward. Give a call, get in contact with me, and we'll put you forward so that you can assist those efforts at MSS, because our children are a reflection of us, and we have to support them. And it is important at this time that we give them that strength. We can't let this matter go on too far without pulling in the reins and getting a control. And it's a reflection of the government. Why is it now that teachers are short, and it has been a year, that these contracts are coming to an end, and nobody has said anything to it? Parents have also contacted me, and we're getting flustered because children are coming home and saying, I haven't done any work for the day. I had 1 class for the day. I had 2 classes for the day. So we're saying that this party, the United Alliance, we are solutions-oriented, and I, for one, will hold responsibility and push that agenda as it relates to getting teachers. I've also spoken to some of my alumni associations in the region to find out what are the availability of new graduates who are completing education programs, and how soon would they be able to slot some for Montserrat, and they're saying, look, once we find out what your needs are in Montserrat, we are willing to partner with you. And this is what the United Alliance is about. It's not just waiting until the end of a contract period. We're setting up the play so that things can happen in the future. And that's what a coach has to do. See your talent, spot your talent, talk about how are you going to improve, get to the next stage, and of course, set those plays up so that in the end, the country wins. And that is what the Alliance is about, making Montserrat win.
Gentle, you introduced us to you, a former coach, who laid out some ways in which you can collaborate to get some improvements done. For example, at the basketball court, right now we see the struggle between the basketball players and the netballers, which really shouldn't be happening. I don't think it's fair for females to be scrambling to get a place to play netball if they so wish. How do you propose to continue this relationship? Because one thing we have with this team have said that we don't believe all the solutions lies within the British government. We have to be creative and go over there. And let me commend our leader, Mr. Mead, right now, who is in the UK, actually speaking to people instead of sitting around and waiting, speaking to people. And of course, you hear this person making these statements. Oh, he said that. I could vouch for it because I know from where I sit that we have actually gone out and pursued these discussions with people because we recognize and understand that everything cannot be done through the British government only. So explain to the public how you see us working with these other groupings, private companies. I remember you came to me a couple of years ago and said, we need shirts for the team to travel. Government couldn't provide the shirts, but that was your approach. How can your company help me to get my team to look good out there? So just speak a little bit about those things.
Thanks a lot, Austin, for speaking about that. And Mr. John Spager, he was a former athletic director at the Danville Area Community College. He recruited me approximately 24 years ago. But he made a pact with us many, many years ago to continue giving youngsters from Montserrat who have the athletic ability to go out there and not only perform in the athletics, be it track and field, be it basketball, be it soccer, get that first degree, that associate's degree that will propel them to get further education. He has kept true to that word, and he has also promised that he wants this party going forward is going to lead this country, and they need his support. He will be there to continue those services as far as finding scholarships, sports scholarships, also in it relates to coming to Ireland and providing support, be it coach training, referee training, physiotherapy services, so that the sporting arena, all those players that take part in the sporting arena can develop and therefore raise the standard of play on Ireland. We have also looked as far as to get a Pro-Am League here in Montserrat, and a Pro-Am League would be a very big opportunity where you bring professional players and amateur players together on one team, and therefore the professional players get to groom those amateur players and bring them into a bigger standard, a better performance, show them the lifestyle of what a professional athlete does, and raise the caliber of basketball, for one example of discipline on Ireland. So those are some of the things that we have proposed and we will be taking forward, provided we get the support. The persons out there have said, yes, Genzel, United Alliance has been active out there, but we need to make sure that we can't just talk about it. We have to do what we have to do on the October 24th date, the election date, vote the party in, and therefore, once we get that done, we can start to finish the things that we've started already in train.
Okay, Genzel, thank you. And for persons out there who may have questions based on what Genzel said, you can call us 491-7227, 491-9064, or WhatsApp 496-2885. Now I'll move to another member of the team, Marjorie. One of our favorite personalities. You see people come in different settings. We're all different.
And packages and sizes.
And Marge is one of these persons who brings a natural flair to the team. There's no frills about Marge. There's no pretense about Marge. You see Marjorie, you know who you're talking to. She is that kind of person. It is that kind of person that everybody knows and everybody loves, even though you never met her. And I think that is what Marge brings to this team, this natural flair. So I'll give you a chance now to tell the public why you think beyond that natural flair, all the other features you have that would make you a suitable candidate to help to lead this country.
Yes, Austin, thanks for that. And good morning to the listeners, whether at home and abroad. We thank you for tuning in to us this morning. I would like to agree with you that I am what you see is what you get. Okay? And just to tell the listeners why they should consider Marjorie Smith in this upcoming elections. I was born and raised in St. John's, Montserrat, in quite a large family. We're 13 children to my mother and father, and a total of 17 children to my father. So that shows I am from a hard-working, productive, result-oriented background. In that setup, there were no twins. I am a unique person, a sought-after child, and my parents decided to stop after I came along because they got something.
They couldn't feed another mouth. She eat everything. Sorry about that. Continue, man.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's okay. So I had a very humble and strict upbringing where I experienced happy and not so happy times. Of course, the family was large, so I faced struggles, hardships, and I missed out on opportunities. But in such an environment, I was taught the importance of selflessness. That includes loving people, to care and to share for others, to have and to show compassion. Hence, I was motivated, and I am still motivated to be a servant leader. With me, there's absolutely no place for discrimination. I understand and I accept that there will always be a place for everyone according to their needs and abilities. And many of you, the listeners out there, my team members, you would know me as a reliable, hard worker, a no-nonsense person who remains firm in my stance for what I think is right and fair, and I will even fight for that. Others would know me as a jovial, outgoing, fun-loving person who likes to entertain and make people laugh. But that has its place. On this occasion, where the affairs of this island, your well-being and your livelihoods are of significance, I do not consider this any laughing matter.
That's right.
Understanding how government functions is an integral skill set for anyone who aspires to be a servant of the people. For 37 and a half years, I worked within the public service in numerous positions, and I have honed those skill sets during my years as a public servant. This afforded me a wealth of knowledge and understanding in various areas of government. And many past and present civil servants would attest to the knowledge that they gained through my support and supervision. And this includes some past and even some present parliamentarians. I have a keen eye for detail, and although I am far from perfect, I strive for perfection at all times. In life, I recognize the need for one to develop in a holistic manner and to gain knowledge in several disciplines. This is why you would have seen me daily in my formal setting, whilst working in many senior roles in government. However, in the afternoon, it might be a competitive game of cricket, and later in the evening, maybe one of the main characters in performing a comedy play. That is me. Throughout my entire life, I have mastered the art of assimilating with everyone, regardless of their social status, and to provide support in a realm of situations. I am a people's person. I am familiar with the island's culture, and I can identify with the underprivileged. My mother had 13 children. Loving and empathizing with people is synonymous with Marjorie Smith. Whether formally or informally, I can be approached at any time and by anyone without them having any fear or reluctance to do so. And it cannot be denied that I am grassroots, a people's person to the core. I can leave here right now and drive down the road, and it wouldn't be difficult for me to stop and pick somebody up, to give them a lift, because that is me. That is what I always do. Even sometimes when I pick them up, I realize, oh dear, I was supposed to stop here, but I already have them. I will take them where they want to go and come right back to do what I have to do. But as simple as that may sound, some people in this political race will find it quite strange to do because they are not people focused. As a matter of fact, some consider it beneath them to stoop to the social level of some members in the community. But for me, equality for all has always been and will continue to be my focus. Now, I have an interest in sports and culture, and that started, well, especially cricket. That started way back in 1993 when I was a member of the St. John's School PTA. We formed a team just to have some fun during the week of activities one year. But it blossomed, and so we decided to continue with it. We called it Northern Force, and it was sponsored by Galloway's Construction. But when that team no longer functioned, I felt I was missing something. And so I organized other teams over the years because I personally wanted to play. But in addition, I saw it as a way of involving the community and providing entertainment for them as well. So it follows that when that team died, or one team died, I would organize another. Even though I found it challenging sometimes to recruit players, but I still persisted. I even played on teams with men. And although some were better players than myself, I led from the front in organizing activities. I also got involved in management and nurturing of young cricketers, some of whom have gone on to play for Leeward Islands youth team. And with my assistance in 2009, the Montserrat youth team won the under-15 tournament with unblemished victory. This I did in conjunction with Coach Ben and some others who were interested and active in the children's lives. And it had gotten to the point where parents believed in me, in my ability to work with their children. They started calling me Auntie Marjorie. Some, I didn't really know them, but they just saw me, know that I'm around the children, and we developed that kind of relationship. I was an executive member of the Cricket Association for several years, and currently I am a director in a locally registered sports club. That's the Benny's All-Stars Sports Club. And to top it off, as many of you know, it does not take much, and I am not afraid to be the Tanty Merle at a cricket match. Being involved defines Marjorie Smith. As it relates to culture, again, born out of another PTA, I danced masquerade for a few years until church life ended that aspect. But the culture in me came alive again, and I joined the Emerald Invaders Rhythm Group in 2019, where I am currently the cowbell player and also an executive member. So, representing you in Parliament and in keeping with the United Alliance mission, I, Marjorie Smith, am committed to creating opportunities for our people to enjoy wholesome and productive lives. A vote for Marjorie Smith is a vote to retain our youths on island and prevent population decline, for creation of employment opportunities, for education, and reviving of technical programs to address our access woes, for food sustainability, for commitment to sports and the culture, for enhanced tourism, including sports tourism, of course, social transformation, and care for the differently abled, to respect our hard-working technicians as we seek to rebuild this island. A vote for Marjorie Smith is a vote for someone who will continue to meet you where you are and listen to your views and concerns to address the high costs of living that affect the bread and butter issues that residents are struggling with. By voting for Marjorie Smith, you will be voting for a strong woman. And remember, strong women don't have attitudes. We have standards. A vote for Marjorie Smith is therefore a vote for integration of people and of ideas. A vote for integrity, professionalism, consistency, diligence, and compassion. So, to see this island advance, we must all vote United Alliance. Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you. Marge,
United,
I
huh?
sat there and listened to you, and I know you, but sometimes I'm still wondering if I know you. And sometimes you're tempted to methodical wisecrack about fried chicken in Hansel and Gretel kitchen. But I say, I'll leave that alone. Because you see, people who know Marge knows that there's nothing that she would not do to help others achieve. And I mentioned that too, because a lot of people join associations, but if you go down to cricket, between you and my other good friend, one of them would be in the kitchen making sure that they're frying chicken so they could raise funds for the young people to travel. And I think it is important to that people understand. Some people sacrifice themselves to help others. And I think that is what service means. It means what are you prepared to do? And it doesn't have to be at no big, a lot of us want to serve. Or we want to be some big organization, they top where you get glam and get invited to come to a cocktail party. And the others who serve at the grassroots level so that their actions could help others to be better. Thank you very much, Marge. And then I move to my friend, they call peddler, Dwayne. He have so much names. Mr. Dwayne Hickson. Here's another young man who I will introduce you to. And I say this because I think, again, we see people we don't appreciate who people are. And I remember when I got my house in Alveston, there was another house over the hill next to me. And they said, that house belongs to this young man. I said, the man even have me age. I had this sense of pride that my neighbor is a young man who's a lot younger than me, but he has been able to achieve what many others, twice his age, could not do. And from that time on, this neighbor friend of mine became somebody who I learned to love and respect. And over the years, I got to know him better and I realized we have family connections and that kind of thing. But I'm saying this because Montrealers must understand that who we are bringing to the team and to the ticket are not just people they're looking for, but people who have demonstrated through their life's work that they not only can work, but that can also help others. Dwayne, the mic is yours.
Yes, good morning. I'm glad that you actually started that out by introducing me that way, because there's a reflection on what used to happen when I actually had owned the house down there. It was a house that a lot of people, and I tell you up to maybe about 2 weeks ago, someone called me wanting a place to really have a little function for their, I think it was her daughter's birthday. And it really and truly hurts me a bit that I couldn't be of help to that person. Because she then reminded me 20 years ago, down at the very same house, my neighbor's house, next to my neighbor's house, that they had called me asking me for to have a function. And they came, the lady asked me, how much is it? And I said to her, listen, I'm not doing this for money. I'm doing it for the love. I want to see your daughter, because I think she was turning 13. Anyway, they came, They had a ball because I was fortunate to build a house on the water that had a swimming pool. And one of the reasons why I actually did it, and it was for investment purposes, because that's where the vision comes in. Because I could have gone to Judy Peace, build that same house, but it definitely would not have the value as it would have in the Alveston Old Town area. And so weeks went by, this very same lady called me up again asking me for a big favor. I asked, what's the favor? She said to me, our church group needs to have a retreat and we're looking a place. Do you know of a place that we can? I said, I don't mind. I'll give up my house for it. So the weekend, I went to my parents in Judy Peace and I gave up my place to the church group. And, from since then, we've had connections. These people, they keep asking me about places, and it's just a continuous thing. And this is who I am, because my parents actually started the fire in me. And, the last election, my mother was ill.
We'll just take a short break and somebody stop. You see, I want the people of Monza to understand that for some persons, it's not just about boasting what you can do or who you think you are. But there's a deeper pain that runs along us. Because I speak like this because I knew Dwayne. I knew that young man who set out to make something of himself. I know his parents. I know what they mean to him. I know what his mother means to him. It is more than just us trying to politic. We have a set of persons on this table who have a genuine love for what they do. And yet, Dwayne has decided, he has spoken to his mother. He just got back from the UK where his mother is. And she's not doing well.
And Austin, Dwayne is a person who cares about family. I can speak to that. When I have situations with families who are in need, I can call Dwayne and say, Dwayne, I am looking some appliances. I am looking some bed. Dwayne, this is a situation. And Dwayne would organize and arrange for us to have it without any cost at all attached. And he speaks of his home and the vision. And so a vote for Dwayne is a vote for a person who cares, who can offer us visionary leadership. Dwayne may not remember, but I performed one of my first marriages at Dwayne's house, that same house that overlooks the sea, and the people were just amazed with their pictures how everything was transformed, again lending itself to tourism, because that's another element. We can do weddings here. Montserrat is picturesque. Wherever you go, there is a view. And Dwayne continues to work in that environment. We look at what he's doing down at Old Roads Bay. It's about expanding, it's about growth, it's about development, it's about progress and prosperity, a better life for our people, where it's all for one and one for all. Irrespective of who you are, Dwayne would give you a job. No mouth, Dwayne would say, should be left empty. It's about spreading the pie. The pie may not have equal sizes, but Dwayne is here with a team who is committed to ensure that we share the pie. This is a person who cares.
Mr. Said, I think what I'll do now, I'll sort of switch over and let John continue while, go.
Yes.
You see, and let me tell you what hurt me though. A man who was planting stone down in, what you call them? Cane River, Soldier Gut. Have the guts to come and criticize this young man for what he's doing down at Bellam Valley. You plant stone down Soldier Gut and you're going, and now you're going to criticize this young man for what he's doing. And let's move on. Let's forget the policy. John is your.
Yes, Austin, just now seeing Dwayne in that mood just now kind of made me sad. And the reason for that is, part of the reason I'm here is that I see myself as a product of Montserrat. And let me explain why I say that. Growing up, I had people who were my life coaches. I had people like Bevan. I had people like Earl Huster Brown. And as you always hear me mention, we're on the political platform, Dwayne was one of my life coaches growing up. So people don't understand, it's people like these who have motivated me to be who I am. I looked up to Dwayne so much when I was young that any little idea that I had in my head as a young man, I would go to Dwayne first and talk to Dwayne. He's my older cousin and somebody that I looked up to from since I was a young child. Dwayne is probably more responsible for me being independent than many other people, that even family members that you would hear people mention. Granted, as I said, he's my cousin, but I have closer family members that he's actually done more for me than they have. And when I tell you I'm a product of Montserrat, it's people like these, as I said, who didn't show me the negativity that I saw growing up. Growing up, you'd hear the rhetoric, like from since I was a child, oh, your father got money, and this and all them stuff there. I never got that negativity from them. Matter of fact, Dwayne was one of them that tell me, you know what, one of the best things to do? Go out and be your own man. When I was 12 years old, because of conversations with me and Dwayne, I got a job with Lester Martin. 12 years old, because I didn't want to depend on my father's money anymore. Lester taught me to build engines. Lester taught me to work on cars. Matter of fact, you can see some of those skills still within me now, because obviously you know what I do within motorsports. Bevan is building a greenhouse for me currently, and it's just this morning that he made a joke with me. He said, imagine I've been working for you since you're 13 years old. And I didn't even think about that.
You're the man who never had a job.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, because I'm gonna bring up another one of the people who I really love talking to growing up. I used to work at the dental clinic here with Joy and a few others. I got certified as a dental assistant, so when I used to come back from university in the summers, I used to also go and assist them there. Mr. Howe used to work next door in the Ministry of Health. I used to go over there whenever we didn't have any patients and sit down and talk to Mr. Howe, because he would always have some level of advice to give me as a young man. So when I'm saying that I'm a product of Montserrat, I don't mean that I'm just a product of my family. I mean that I'm a product of everybody in the environment who has shown me some positivity and have molded me to be the young man that I am today. And there's a lot of people, I can mention a lot more, but I mentioned those four because they were very instrumental in who I was growing up. And I want to talk about the young people, because when I was younger, I realized that working with Lester, sometimes it was a little difficult, because Lester would tell you without expletives what you were doing wrong or whatever you messed up. And I said to myself, although he was like an uncle to me, I don't think I wanted to stay to go work for somebody else for the rest of my life. The next thing I did was I took the money that he used to pay me and I started to buy some hair clippers. And I learned to cut my own hair. First time I cut my hair wasn't very good because I put a bowl around it and cut around it, and people laughed at me going to school. But I became very good at it. And then I opened the barbershop. The barbershop then became a gathering place for young people, because I had a PlayStation there and they would come to cut the hair, so I had a very successful business there. Out of that barbershop, what I realized is that I had a lot of young people looking up to me. They would come to me now for advice and say, oh, but look, you're so young. And even guys who were older than me, guys who were Gen Z age and stuff, I used to cut some of their hair. They would ask me, like, how is it that you're doing this at such a young age? So I became a mentor to a lot of people. So part of the reason I'm here is that throughout the years, because I've encouraged so many people to even be entrepreneurs, they have now pushed me and said, listen, we want a voice as young people We want a voice in government. We need somebody who is as strong as you, somebody who has led us through the years, somebody who has been a mentor to us, somebody who has encouraged us, motivated us to be in government and represent us, because we know that you will do so very well. I mean, we went to Davy Hill just the other day, and we were at a house. And if you remember, one of my schoolmates said to you, if John says he's going to do something, I'm going to believe it because I know he will deliver it. That is who people see me as, who have grown up with me because they know. We don't have to talk about motorsports, because when you start to get into motorsports, you would see that John will put and sacrifice even his own finances to get something done if I need to. Motorsport started off with a zero budget. Zero. No financing from government whatsoever. And I took motorsports from where it was, where people thought it was just illegal racing, and got it legal because I put my own money into it, because I believed that motorsports had something to offer. Now you hear every single party talking about motorsports and sports tourism. All of them are talking about building a track and doing all this. All of this stuff was from my initiative because I decided to put my own money. When motorsports had zero budget from government, even though the papers, I would pay for them to print. So it is, I'm not here for myself. And Mrs. Hector would probably support me when I say this. But one thing that I have realized over the years is, whenever I put myself into something that is totally unselfish to me, I always do well with it. I don't know if it's a design by God that makes that happen, but whenever I am in something and I'm not in it for any selfish reason, I always do very, very, very well with it. So I am here for the people, I'm not here for myself. I'm here because of how many people believe in me.
And not only that, John contributes to the advancement of young people in sports. John would also call me and say, Mrs. Hector, you know, the young ladies, etc., what we can do for them. So this is a person, you may see him and not know him, but he truly cares. And that is one of the pillars of the United Alliance, to offer the people of Montserrat a government who genuinely care. Not saying you care and showing something otherwise, but putting yourself out there, making yourself available, mentoring the young, and not only the young, because we are cross-generational, the older ones too. So this is a man you can vote for. And so far, in engaging with him as well, there's an authenticity that comes. John is going to tell you how it is. He is not beating around the bush or pretending, and he makes himself available. He is a team player, not exclusion. Team is very important for leadership. You must have that cohesiveness to take your people forward, their policies forward, the agenda forward, and to keep the dream alive of his father, that Montserratians must own their home. They must not be eating from hand to mouth. They must have a better life. That is a vote for John.
John, one of the questions that I got is that while you speak about the thing that you have done, what the person wants to know is how will you bring that into government? And you speak a lot about young people. How could the rest of us benefit from you being in government?
Well, I've been in many different capacities in my life. And I think what I bring most to government currently is the entrepreneurial side of me. What I want to do is I want to create policies within government that make it a lot easier for people to become entrepreneurs as well, a lot easier for people to create businesses. Since I have had many issues dealing with, and as you like to say, everybody has had failures in business, I realized that Montserrat has policies which just aren't conducive to business. Like you talk about farming, You talk about creating industries, but even something as simple as like your electricity bill, you have a commercial rate that's higher than your residential rate. These things don't encourage people to create businesses here because you're telling me if I create a business, you're going to charge me more to operate it. You have certain tax structures that the rest of the world are up to date with, that Montserrat isn't up to date with, that encourage business. Like Dwayne, and I said, I love talking about Dwayne because Dwayne is in real estate. Dwayne has me in real estate, but he doesn't even know because I never told him. Right. And like in the US, for instance, like I'll use Miami. Miami encourages their citizens to build homes through tax incentives. We don't do those things in Montserrat. So I think I bring a wealth of knowledge into helping young entrepreneurs. Matter of fact, I'm going to be on the radio tomorrow. I'm going to give away some money tomorrow just to help somebody start a new business. So I think what I'm bringing to government is that I'm going to make it easier to create an economy. I'm going to make it easier for people to go out there and not just work for people, but to be the people who create jobs. Because it is my belief, Austin, that we should not just be looking for foreign direct investment just to create jobs here, because we don't want all our Montserratians to just be workers. We don't want all our Montserratians to just be laborers. We want our people to be the people who are, and I'm going to talk like my sector, to get the big piece of the pie. Because what we don't tell our people is that being a laborer, you only get a small piece of it. When you are the person who creates the job, when you are the person who owns the business, you are the person who gets the bigger piece of the pie. So we need to start and flip the narrative that everybody's supposed to work at 8 to 4 or every Montserratian is supposed to just be a laborer. We need to change that narrative completely, and I believe that I am here because I will change that narrative going forward.
Okay, thank you very much, John. And I'm going to come back to you, but I just want to make sure that everybody at the table gets a chance to speak about themselves. So I'll go to the lady with the nice shoes. I'll go to the lady with the nice shoes and give her an opportunity to tell you. You see, again, things are very personal. I grew up in Kinsale, and right across the road from me was another lady, just like my mother, single mother.
That's right.
Who was determined to raise us in a particular way. I could speak about her because I know her. I know Miss Betty. I couldn't disrespect her. She cut me behind if I got out of order. And my mother was the same to her across the road. We grew up that close and we were taught to work hard. Because when you're poor, they will tell you the only way to get out of poverty is through education. Educate yourself. So I know this lady coming from that background. The choice we had was not much. We had no choice but to make education a focus of our lifestyle. And so today, when we speak like that, we understand what it took to get us out. And I'm sure that from her background, that is why she's so passionate. And people get upset with her because she wants to help everybody. And she wants to give away all the government money to everybody. But she can't help because we were taught that the best way out is to help others.
And it is not giving away all of government money to others, but giving that money or creating the environment to facilitate growth, the fostering of the talent and the gifts that have been given to you. And knowing that we have a purpose here on earth, and that is to give. It may not be money, it may be your time in counseling across the board, because we want strong families to build strong committees. And so is to advocate the policies that are necessary in government, not for dependency on government, but to grow the people. And we look at what we did for 2 days. We wanted to empower our people, and it was across the board. We had older persons, we had young persons, in between age. And we all discussed providing them with principles and ways to develop their business, and also to work with excellence irrespective. And so it's the growing of persons. And coming from a poor background, I'm calling it what it is. I remember hiding my Murphy motor tire shoes. So let me wear my nice shiny shoes. And when I got home, I didn't have the shoes because we were cleaning the school to ensure that we worked in a healthy environment. And so education is critical for me. Treating teachers with respect, ensuring that they have the resources, ensuring that the infrastructure within which our teachers and students and the existing staff members, because we do have other persons who were there, they're all a part of that community. And let me remind us, our school community is a reflection of where our society is going. Therefore, if our education system is falling, we got to watch that society that we are building because it is going to flow. And so a vote for Veronica Dorset means that we are going to offer a holistic curriculum, as you would have heard Sister Madge speaking about and the others. I won't go into detail. We are going to ensure that our teachers get what they deserve, that it becomes a profession for which they are well paid off. It is because of my teachers why I can stand here today. They believed in me. They created the environment in which we foster. I do not believe that our children in today's age should be eating out of any, and this is no disrespect because I value the lunch that is provided. But we have a canteen where each provider can serve the food and the children come and eat. In addition, that same environment can become a conference area where they can practice their skills. Glee club, develop the talent and the skills that we need to advance the culture. And don't tell me about culture, because some people from Harris's think they only could dance masquerade. But don't touch Black Richard and go back to my Queen Show pictures, and you will not believe that I was dancing at masquerade. So culture, again, advancing that. So school education is what liberated me. It's what achieved the dream. Not just not doing any work, so I am not creating any dependency. A vote for Veronica K. Dorset Hector means we're offering our people competent government. I have been here as an attorney at law for over 20 years. I've worked in the registry. I've worked as magistrate. I've seen the challenges. Our courthouse should not be that way. So building a new courthouse, creating the legislation that is necessary for the advancement. And I will say now, ensuring that every legislation we have give the necessary autonomy to elected representative. There is no way you will tell me you want to change the constitution, yet you go down to parliament and want to give more power to the office of the governor.
Let me just pause a minute for you, Ms. Dorset. Numbers 491-7227, 491-9064, or WhatsApp at 496-2885. We have a couple of WhatsApp messages, but I'll let you continue.
All right, and so we must...
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I
Yes,
think we have a caller calling in.
Okay.
Good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk with the United Alliance.
Good morning. And you hear me? You hear me, Aspen? Aspen.
Yes, I'm hearing you, caller. Go ahead.
Yeah. Morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning to the rest of the panel.
Yes, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, me go shot. Doing pull yourselves together and me no hear say nothing about Daville. Remember your roots on Daville, you know. Aspen, my sister did the black out of Munster Secondary School start to use it? She hear that? Okay, answer me off here. You hear that, Aspen?
Remember, we're not the government, eh? So we could ask questions based on... Yeah, you. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Me only just want to know if you start to use. That's all, man.
Okay, go ahead, please. Thanks. If you could answer it.
You can't answer me off.
That again.
Thank you very much.
You see, with with procurement and ensuring that things are done, projects are carried out in a timely fashion, requires that you have persons on the team who understand the challenges that contractors themselves have and working with contractors. And that is why I would say a vote now for United Alliance. Bring together that talent and that skill that will allow us to go forward. Now, in terms of laws again, just to say on the previous government that I served in, we did speak about our young persons who may have who have convictions, and we want to give them assistance. Again, back to legislation. A piece of legislation was drafted, but it was not fit for purpose. And so we are going to continue on that to give our young persons an opportunity. A vote for Veronica Dorset is about solution-oriented, visionary government to move towards housing for our people, for our young persons, for persons in the service, for persons who live abroad and wish to come home, developing the policies that are necessary to advance that. We have lands. We can also speak to landowners and negotiate what we can do to ensure that housing is available for our people. A vote for Veronica K. Dorset Hector means that, and I have to give others a chance, that our vision, because I am purpose-driven, in our SDP is achievable. Ensuring food security, ensuring affordable, excellent health, sports services and facilities, ensuring safe, affordable, reliable and dependable access, ensuring sustainable green energy. And when I speak, I'm already speaking to the partners that I've met to say, what can you do to help our families move to that stage? Ensuring the thriving tourism. At our discussions, we got so much feedback as to what we can do.
Okay, I think I have another call. Sorry to cut you, Mr. Darcy. We have another call coming in. Good day and morning and welcome to Let's Talk with the United Alliance.
Good morning to the United Alliance family. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, caller.
It's actually been refreshing to listen to you guys this morning. I want to first start off with the positive and let you know that it's very encouraging to hear some of the things that your candidates are speaking on. And as a Montserratian, living out here in the U.S., spending as much time as I can in Montserrat, these issues are equally important to me. And one of the things, I'll start with John, because if John can remember, I actually spotted his potential way back in 2016, because I actually sent him a message and encouraging him on an issue he was dealing with. And recently I went back to send him another message to express how proud I was of him, and realized that message had been there since 2016. So this is not just Johnny come lately. He happened to be with a really good group of people. Secondly, John talked about small businesses and encouraging people to establish businesses and so forth. As a partner who has a partner involved in entrepreneurship, who started his own business with the sweat of his brows and the coins in his pocket with absolutely zero help from anyone, I'm speaking on this issue as well. So I want to put that on record as saying that, yes, this is an important aspect of growing our population. We need to create less dependency on government, and if we want people to branch out and do well on their own, how do they go there? Who's helping them to get started? So, John, I want to commend you for what you're doing in that arena, and I want to say again, kudos to the United Alliance family on that. Secondly, I'm talking about Ms. Hector Dorset, and I am going to say without hesitation that I support her 100%. I support the team because Miss Dorset and I go back to childhood. I know of her integrity. I know of the kind of person she is. I know exactly who Miss Hector Dorset. As a matter of fact, I know Kate. You understand? So I am supporting this team not blindly, but because I've observed the members of this party, every one of you under different circumstances, and I want to say that I believe that this group is the best group to put Montserrat forward. Let me talk about Miss Dorset very briefly. I'm not going to take up all the time. Just let me speak on this one. Every year I decided to give back to Montserrat and come to Montserrat and do the children's Easter party. And this incentive came from way back in my childhood when the Honorable Mary Rose Stewart did it for the children of the Southern District, which was her area. I could remember the joys I got from that, and I wanted to impart some of that joy back onto kids or children growing up now. Miss Dorset, I was at my home in Alveston, and Miss Dorset came through, was not any active politicking or anything like that. She spoke on that issue. She asked, was I getting any help from the government? She said, Miss Lake, you're taking children for an entire day. You're giving them something to do. You're doing that. I said, no, we're doing it from volunteers because I have a great group out here called the A-Team. But Miss Dorset said, no, we need to help you to do this. The government should step in and help you to do this. And she guided me in the way that I could get some funding to assist with this. Mind you, with or without the funding, the party will go on. However, I am going to stress that these are the kind of leaders that we need in Montserrat, okay? Montserrat is my first love. Before I love anything else or anybody else, aside from my family of origin, I love Montserrat. Still love Montserrat. So I'm going to end this by saying kudos to United Alliance. You have my 110% support. Keep being the team, that a strong team that you have been, and keep the level up as you have done going through this election and campaigning period. And that is my say. So have a great day, United Alliance, and keep up the good work.
Caller, thanks for your support and your endorsement. We really appreciate that. Now, Dwayne, I need to give you back a couple of minutes that we sort of lost. So you have about 3 minutes to... In fact, let me say this. You're the only person who get wrap-up time today. Go ahead. Okay.
I appreciate that, Austin. And what I'll say is that the people knows that my love for this country is tangible and it's real. You can go down to Old Roads Bay at any time and you can see exactly what is taking place down there. I'm trying to do a golf course. And we know that for the past few... I would say, I don't want to really say governments, but I would say they have had people doing different studies as to what needs to happen in terms of a golf course. I recognize that there's a gap, and I've embarked on it, and it was through Ruben, RTM Mead, and so I'm stemming back as far as 2014, that I was tasked to really do a driving range. And from that project, I decided, well, you know what? We could get more than a driving range. We can get a small 9-hole golf course. So thanks to guys like, and I would say Cupid, because they gave me and Wanzer and Kingsley and all the other guys that normally play on an afternoon, you rest assured that it would be reopened. We had some machinery problems and we are getting it sorted. And so in very short order, we'll be playing golf again. I want to say to the people of Montserrat that I want to thank you for your support in advance. I know you will vote United Alliance because we realize that the country is actually crying out for management. The country is crying out for leadership. The country is even crying out for empathy. The country needs a leader who can produce jobs and also opportunities for different people. We need people in this place to really be conscious of the fact that we are dealing with real people. We are dealing with human beings. And it is my best desire to really see the country move forward, propel forward. I would say people first, moving forward together. It's a United Alliance. Vote United Alliance.
Yeah, do it, thank you. I'm trying to hustle through because we have a couple of messages. Miss Dawson, could you just read through?
Let me see, Dwayne, see the good in people and try to help as much as he can. He was the first to reach out to me and help me when I returned home to Montserrat. I look at the United Alliance as the party to go for. Yes? Again, Dwayne reached out to me. I look at the United Alliance as a party of hope, like the emphasis on youth, entrepreneurial spirit, and education, and good leadership. Where preparation meets opportunity, you have good success. We're not going forward into decadence for nobody to carry us over in the hill. We're preparing our people to go forward with pride, with confidence, equipped. Come one, come all. We're voting United Alliance, competent, visionary, caring, good governance government, solution-oriented. We are going to strengthen our trade union, so private persons, and we are also going to work with the private sector because they are the engine of good. Government is continuous, and so I will continue to say, together we can, together we will. One for all and all for one. United Alliance. We're going up and up and up.
Okay, listeners, I think we have come to the end of our time. I would like to thank you for being with us this morning. And we're looking forward to being here next week, Thursday, when other members of the team will come and join us. Mr. Mead, have yourself a good trip overseas and come back with your pocket full of ideas. Because as the lead of this team, we're depending on you to lead us and to take these young people to a completely different level. Once again, thank you, listeners.
And we pledge our support to him.
We thank you, listeners, for being with us.
Yes.
And join us next week at the same time.
The following is a paid political broadcast by the United Alliance, a grouping of talented individuals committed to providing visionary, competent, and accountable governance of Montserrat's affairs.
Mayday, 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 mayday. Montserrat in trouble. Somebody come rescue us, man. Montserrat was sailing in full speed under the leadership of Ruben Meade. Then they turned the ship over to a captain named Romeo. Then all of a sudden the ship started going down. So they brought a new captain hailing from long ground. Some people start swimming, some even start drowning. Montserrat in trouble. Ruben rescue my people. United, 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 United Alliance. United, United, United Alliance. United, United. Montserrat is in distress. We need you to clean up this mess. United, 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 United Alliance. United, United, United Alliance. United, United. With your strong leadership, we know you can steer this ship.